It's first thing in the morning. Got my metal detector. Let's go detecting. So I got to the field and it's not going well. I got it really late, couldn't find where the parking was, and then I just realised I got my coil on back to front. So and then I've left my pinpointer at home, so I've got my backup pinpointer, and I've left my headset on charge. So luckily I've got a complete empty field and there's not many people here today. So yeah, you can see here it's a pretty empty field. There's some people over there, but let's get cracking. Of course I wasn't filming for this one. What is it? That's like ivory. I don't know what that is. Weird. Okay, so not ivory, but it says unicorn adapter. So electrical maybe? Well, this machine, I'm slowly getting used to it, but if you can find stuff this thin and this small, I thought it was a hammer at first, but it's just like a piece of, I don't know, I can't see anything on it. Some kind of bronze, looks quite old, but it's so thin. So yeah, let me know what you think it is. Sorry about the wind, there's not much I can do about it, but if you're finding stuff like this, then that's good. Potentially find my first hammered. But yeah, the moon boots are driving me mad. Absolutely caked in mud. The digging conditions are really frustrating. But yeah, do you know, it looks like the edge of a coin. Don't know. Just had this up. It's circular. It's lead. It's heavy. No idea. Spindle wheel maybe? Could be. The interesting thing is I just dug that just there, and there's a set of somebody else's footprints just there. So I don't know how they... It was just there, it's right next to those footsteps. Right there. So how did they miss that? I see bits of pottery as well. You can see it's just there. Found something interesting here. Is this aluminium? There's a sneaky signal that kept running away. I think I found a coin. You see it just there? It's either that or a button. I found not much today so far, so let's have a look. Oh, that really looks like a coin. I'll get that cleaned up and we'll have a look. Well, you can probably better see it there. That's where the date should be. It's about the size of a farthing. Can't see anything that side, but it looks like a Georgian. You can see the back shield of Britannia there. I think this sums up today. Look at that.
2,000 years later.
I'm back from the dig. I'm just about warming up. I've seemed to have got mud absolutely everywhere. The mud on the bottom of my boots was pretty horrendous. I've been in sort of arable land before, but I've not been in it where it's been so muddy and had what everyone was calling moon boots, which makes sense. But I tell you what, normally it's my arm that's aching, but it's my legs that are aching this time from carrying huge clods of mud on my boots. But the first time out with the detector, I was impressed. At first, I was a bit disheartened on how noisy it was. Also, I was peed off because I'd forgotten my headphones and my pinpointer. Not bringing the pinpointer was really annoying. I had to go old school where you'd take a handful of stuff and wave it in front of the detector to work out what was in your hand. And also, I forgot to take my wedding ring off, which caused issues because I kept setting it off with my wedding ring. So, you know, proper schoolboy era stuff. So yeah, but I was very impressed. Once I got my ear in and I could see past all those chips and chirps, I think I need to tweak with the sensitivity, but it did pick up stuff. So if you have any tips on the X-Terra Elite or Pro, pop them in the doobly-doo below, because I'd be interested on sort of what settings and things like that. I know you can go really into that, but I will be going back to that field, hopefully. He's doing another dig there at some point. It was for raising money for a defibrillator, because unfortunately someone on another dig had a heart attack and stuff and passed away. So they were raising money for that, so it'd be on site if unfortunately it was needed. So I'll get the fines bag out, clean stuff up, lay it out, and we'll have a look at what I found. Now, I'm reasonably happy. It was nice to go out with the machine to finally test it out. And I did find some bits. I was there about 2 hours, something like that, 2.5 maybe. And it took quite a lot of getting used to the machine. So let me show you some of the stuff. Some of the other people did find some good stuff as well, as always. But yeah, up here's the kind of junky stuff. Here is pile of lead. There is what some people call bit of tractor, I think. Some interesting surface finds here, and then some more interesting stuff here. So we'll start with the lead. It's just your typical sort of casting off bits, but some quite, big bits of oxidization on it. And then this chunk here is huge, massive chunk. So they'll all go in the lead box. I don't think there's anything particularly special about them, but they'll go in the lead scrap box, which is getting more and more. But apparently that's a good sign. That's a sign of habitation on the property. Don't know what this is. It looks like some kind of chisel, like splitting thing, or a tooth or something. But it's definitely got an end to it there. So it almost looks like a stone chisel of some sort. So yeah. Bit random, but that'll go in the scrap bucket. Then we've got flattened screw. This wire was such a fiddly thing to find. It was a real pain in the bum because it was a solid signal. But could I see that in the muddy field? No. Then this bit of foil. Excuse my manky hands, but this bit of foil. It was chirping up really bright, but, obviously it's aluminium, so it's no good there. Another small bit of aluminium, but if it's finding stuff like this, do you know what? I'm really impressed that it's finding stuff this small. And I'll show you later. This was a strange one. I thought this was bronze or copper, but it's actually magnetic, so part of a bolt or something. Another piece of scrap metal there. And the good old bolt to finish up. So I'll leave these to last, but some of the surface finds, there's a rather interesting piece of curved glass. Then we've got some pottery, blue and white pottery. There's quite a lot of blue and white pottery that I saw. I left most of it. Then this is a kind of, you can see the profile there, like I was drawn to this kind of glazed earthenware because obviously that's someone's finger marks there, and I always like to pick it up just in case you see people's fingerprints. There's kind of one there, really. Where I'm no good at dating pottery. My late father was a potter, and he probably would be able to, but yeah, this looks like a fairly simple glazed cup or jug of some sort. That almost looks like Cornish ware, blue and white. And then this was quite a large piece. I'm guessing this is older, unless it's a more modern pot, but yeah, more crude. It's got a slight curve to it there, so probably a larger pot of some sort. But if you're any good at dating ceramics, pop a comment in the comment section. But I always like to pick up those surface finds. Are interesting. You maybe saw me dig this one. This one took me a while to work out what it was. It was one of the other detectors, Sandy, who mentioned what it was. And then, because I was trying to look at this, which says unicorn adapter. But then I realised unicorn is a brand of darts, the flights for darts. And it is, it's a you know, an old school dart. It would have a point there and the flights on the back, and you go down the pub. Why that was in the middle of a field, I've no idea. So yeah, this, I still don't know what it is. I think it's aluminium. You have to excuse me, I seem to have developed a cold. But yeah, when it first came out, I thought, is that silver? But I think it's too light. So I think that's aluminium. Then got some very thin pieces of copper. Bronze, I'm not sure. Don't know if that's off anything, but the fact it's the X-Terra Elite is picking up stuff this thin is good. And you'll see later, one of the ones, this was an absolute screamer. You can see I hit it with a spade, unfortunately. But yeah, just some kind of furniture hardware, possibly. I don't know. Recess that side and that side, so relatively modern. I'm going to say 20th century, although it has got quite a bit of oxidization on it. I'm going to say, you know, I don't know, 1940s or something maybe. Then these are my, for me, better finds. Now this one, I think I've worked out what this is. Let me know in the comment section what you think it is, but what I think it is part of a penknife. This is one of my everyday carries. You can see there, it's one of those, can you see the brass parts there? I think that's what it's from. I think it's from a penknife. So a long time ago, someone lost a penknife and it's gradually fallen to bits, and this is what remains. Then, this is interesting. I'll just pick it up. I thought it was a spindle wheel at first, but the hole doesn't go all the way through, but it's a perfect circle of lead. So whether it's like a trading weight or something, not too sure, but a bit cooler than just the standard bits of lead. They've got a button. You can see there's the little nubbin there that you can see the circle would have had the thing there. So button, not sure what kind of age that is, but it's got a lot of corrosion on it. Then these ones are the ones, I don't know. I'm going to take them to the local metal detecting club when I go, which I've just recently joined. What do you think this is? You've got here some like decorative detail that looks like, and then like this is like some kind of sprue that comes off. I really have no idea. Is it that way? I mean, that part looks like a casting sprue, but then there's this decorative detail here. So I really do not know what it is. It's some kind of copper alloy anyway. Then I'll leave that one to last. I showed this in the field. The fact that it's picking this up, I just think it's a flake of, you know, it's probably a similar flake to this. It's slightly thicker. I can't see any detail on it. So there was jetons that came up in that field, but yeah. But the fact it's finding something that thin and that big means I think I am going to find hammers eventually. Now, what is this? It looks like some kind of fastening, whether that would go on the edge of clothing, possibly. you see what I mean? It would like a rivet through the clothing, and then this is like a clasp fitting at the front of a garment, possibly. Looks like it's got quite a bit of age to it, so yeah, don't know. So those I'm going to keep. Those will go in the rubbish bin and well, not in the bin, the scrap bin, and then I'll probably keep that as well. Now this, I need to put wax on it to show it up properly, but you can just about see there. That's what the thing. So here, around the edge here, you've got the inscription, and at the bottom you've got flowers and line, and Britannia's sat just there. So the Britannia's shield would be there, legs there, like that. And then if you flip it over to the other side, you've got a back of hair there facing that way. So it's a young head Victoria. I'm pretty sure it's a young head Victoria farthing. A lot of corrosion on it. I thought it might be been a George or a William, but no, it's young head Victorian. So not as old as I thought, but still nice to find a coin anyway. So I hope you found that video interesting. It was good to get out there with the machine. And if you like this kind of video, click here. If you like this kind of content, I would appreciate a subscription. And I'll see you next time.